Work, 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 work. Huzzah! There we go. That looks to be working. Work, work. That was like, the overseer in a salt mine. Yeah. Work, work, work. You're all there, right? It's definitely working. I can see a chat. I can see a mic thing. I can see everything. There we go. Get in. Get in. How's everyone doing? I think when I have this Streamlabs thing up, I can navigate it better. I don't know how the chat thing works though. Oh yeah, there you go. It's already linked, and I don't even need to do anything. Great. Look at that. I don't even need to keep this up. Perfect. The wonders of modern technology. Winner. And then apparently that pint glass with coins in the tip jar, but I don't even know. I haven't linked it to anything. I don't think that'll actually do anything. Who cares? Who cares? I just thought it was good having a pint glass on the screen. Debs, don't lie to me and tell me you can't hear me, because I can even see, using this Gucci system, I can see a little bar jumping around when I talk. So I think you can hear me loud and clear, you lying bastards. Right, let's just hope this works. Let's see if there's any sound comes out of this.
Cortina may be one of only a handful of places to host the Alpine World Championships, but it's similar to every resort in Europe and across North America in one respect. The fact that almost everyone in these beautiful places is white. That is certainly the case here in Larks, and has been at all of the places that I've been.
She seemed to be equating a place being beautiful with the ethnicity of the people there. I don't know anyone who would do or would say such a thing, but the BBC seem to be, don't they? Like, look how beautiful it is. There's none of those swarthy people around, is there? Yeah, because you're middle class arsehole that works for the BBC, so you probably do think that. But I don't, so I'd appreciate if you stop tarring us all with the same brush. And don't make any statements about tar brushes either. While you're on, Mrs. Cheers from Jerusalem. Alright? Like most veterans, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I was always pretty ambivalent about that place, but if I have to pick a team, I think it's obvious to any agnostic secular Western man what he's going to pick. Hello, Kate. You're a regular. How are you doing? I am. Am I early tonight? Apparently I am. Sorry, I'm terrible at multitasking. Whenever people talk to me and address me directly, I just start ignoring what I'm doing and talking nonsense. Let's finish at least this article that somebody sent me on Twitter, because it really is. I was flabbergasted, right? Flabbergasted, but I thought of 3 obvious reasons as to why this may be the case the second I watched it. So let's just finish it. It's 30 seconds.
Fortunate enough to visit through competition and now work.
When you're in the majority, you fit in. So why would you question it? It's only by looking at this through a different lens you start to realise that these environments perhaps aren't as equal.
It's only by looking at it through a different lens, the lens of fuckwit. Let me just rummage around in my pocket and pull out the lens of fuckwit. It's a magical monocle that you put over your eyes, and everything you see for the rest of your life is the exact opposite of reality. That's the lens of fuckwit. I don't recommend purchasing one.
As accessible or as welcoming as we'd like to think.
Right, so if you didn't see the whole story, basically the BBC, the country file thing didn't go down well enough. They wanted to outdo themselves. Yeah, they're probably having bets, because I don't believe any of these pasty middle class arseholes believe any of this shit that they say. They know that they don't live in America. They know that Britain's not America. They know that it's completely different. Completely. There was literally 0.001% of the UK was black in the 1940s. Like, Dunkirk, there's a reason Christopher Nolan made Dunkirk and you didn't see any black disabled lesbians on the sands of Dunkirk. There wasn't any. I was arguing with some twat about it on Quora. I looked it up. They reckon there was fewer than 50,000 black and minority ethnic people in the UK in the early 1900s in the entire country. So you're looking at like a population of 10 million and less than 50,000. There just was none. And they know this. So there was no... The N-word's not a thing in England. You know, your granddad would say things like, well, I can't use any of the comical 1980s words that my granddad would have used. But none of them were the N-bomb. They were always sort of comical colloquialisms. Because Britain's a different country, and it's not a racist country. And it never has been. And nobody threw N-bombs at anybody. And it was almost unheard of. Excuse me. I've got a bit of a cough. People shit themselves when you cough nowadays. You cough and it's like you just got your cock out in the elevator. People are paranoid as soon as you cough, whereas coughs are pretty normal. And I haven't got a temperature, so... yeah. People are just ridiculous. The BBC are just ridiculous. Everyone who goes on about racism endlessly in Britain is just ridiculous. And the point I keep making is, boys and girls, please... try not to rise to it and get angry and bitter and resentful about it, because the whole aim of these people is to make you angry and bitter and resentful, because that's what communists always do. They put two sides against each other, rile everybody up, and then revel in the chaos, because they think that's how they're going to get the glorious revolution started. You have to turn your back on it. And I know, I mean, even if you're an atheist like me, the whole reason people like Jesus were admirable was because they do mad things, like the same mad shit, like, you know, one of my favourite quotes from Chubby Brown, do to others as they do unto you, and then fuck off before the police get there. Yeah, there's a good Chubbyism, and that's funny, because that's not what people do. What people normally do is... they respond to prejudice and hatred and spite by doing the same thing, because it's human nature. Someone's horrible and annoying and you think he's like constantly playing the race card and like going on about this stuff. You have to remember it's communists. We all, probably those of us from working class backgrounds, we're the ones who grew up with people from all around the world. In the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, that's when tons of them started coming over. There was none in the 1800s. They started coming when we were kids. And we hung around with them. So whenever I sort of bow to my worst elements in my personality, in my stupid tribal monkey brain, and I start responding to hatred and bigotry and intolerance and race baiting by thinking, all right then, well, I may as well play to win with my team then. You have to remember that it's not any group, it's not the gays, it's not the blacks, it's not the women, it's communists. And we shouldn't be collectivists. Whenever I see people think about people being properly full-on racist, and genuinely the tiny, minuscule number of people in the UK and the United States that actually do practice that, tiny number of them, I just think... it is a despicable ideology, because we went to school with people. One of my best friends in school was an Indian kid. His mum and dad were doctors, and he, for some reason, because my mother was well-to-do, tried to get me to hang out with them, and she was good friends with his mother. And, they don't care about this stuff. It's toxic race baiting by communists who want us to despise each other. So when the BBC does this, never let yourself think, oh, okay then, because they're playing the race card, I should start playing for sympathy and be aggressive with my group. We're not in a group. If you have to put people in a group, there's only two groups: communists and everybody else. Normal working class people don't rise to any of it. The militant feminists, the commies, the Marxists, Jimmy Cranky up north, just ignore them and constantly bring it back to what's common sense, what's reasonable, what's logical. You can't lose an argument to these people. You cannot lose. I don't think I'm a masturbator. Well, I am a masturbator. I mean a master debater. I don't think I'm a master debater, But I can't lose to these people because they talk fucking nonsense. They totally make shit up. Like I said, they are in denial. Did you see them talking about how there was no free speech crisis? Did you see that? Like, after the last 5 years, I can't believe the things these people come out with. After the last 5 years, for them to go out and say, there isn't it. What do you mean, free speech? It's like, what? So we've had 5 years of people, I can reel them all off. People getting through off campuses, banned from... Poor old Richard Dawkins, the nice middle-class arsehole that he is, Remainer, milquetoast, lefty twat that he is, nice old man, Richard Dawkins, got hauled over the coals because he shared that song. Does anybody remember? I am a feminist. I am a... You know that one? Right, I don't want to say the I word. You guys know what it was. It's just mental. It's been going on for years, and they're going, nah, not happening. Not happening. Doesn't happen. Nobody's ever been... Toby Young set up the Free Speech Union. My mate, my friend who wrote that piece I read out the other day, he joined it. There's like 200,000 people joined the Free Speech Union. Why? Why? If it's mass censorship, massive, aggressive mobs of crazy activists, communists and nut bars weren't throwing nice middle-class lefties like Sam Harris and Richard Dawkins off campuses like Uncle Phil throws jazz out of his mansion. If that wasn't happening, why has everyone joined the Free Speech Union? Why? Why does everybody even know Toby Young's name? Oh yeah, Toby Young, he got fired as well, didn't he? Roger Scruton, he got fucking fired for nothing by a lying communist. Google him if you want to read about it. Roger Scruton was a government advisor, a personal hero of mine. Fired, lost his position, smeared. Johnny Mercer, that shitbag from Plymouth, former commando, although I think he was an army commando, not a proper one, smeared him, joined in the dog pile and slagged him off. You can reel them off, the amount of people that have been doing this. And it is absurd that these knobheads can sit there with a straight face and say, oh yeah, it doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. Starkey, there's another one. Literally dozens of them. And if you go across the pond, even more. Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro. The list of people getting totally fucked over by insane communists who rule the fucking world is staggering. And they will sit there with a straight face and say it's not happening. It's a fiction. It's a figment of your imagination. Richard Dawkins didn't get deplatformed for nothing. Roger Scruton didn't get deplatformed for nothing. Toby Young didn't get deplatformed for nothing and then set up a free speech union and then 250,000 people joined it. Why? Why? Must ghosts joined it because it doesn't happen. Look at YouTube. Look at YouTube. The reason I haven't got a monetized channel and Paz and I don't know about RP, we got a problem and the like. Everyone gets deplatformed. It's always happening. And with me, I never even try to get monetized. Full disclosure, I never have and I never will because I swear like a drunk sailor. And obviously I'm well aware that they would throw me off faster than, what's very, very fast? Greased weasel shit. They would fling me off as fast as you can, the second I tried. So I haven't even attempted it. But I will say as well, one thing that does annoy me about why they even take umbrage with your foul language and why I've always sworn, and I still do, is because this is how we talk in the pub. You know, I'm not interested in doing Sargon, Ben Shapiro, selling a book or getting into politics. I'm interested in having funny, good-natured, normal conversations like you would have in the pub. I think it's good for our minds. Mine as well, now I'm locked in the fucking house on my own all day. It's good for us to talk to each other as you do amongst your peers in the pub. And this is what I find really weird, how the lefties, because they know it benefits them, because they control the airwaves and the radio stations, how they're trying to make it that it's unacceptable amongst working class people shooting the shit to just swear. Like, I talked about how Donald Trump used the term shithole and everyone went mental about it. And I was like, 99% of the country uses the term shithole. Like, seriously. Even your grandmother, right? If you said to your grandmother, if she said, where are you going on holiday, son? And you went, oh, well, you know, we've had enough of all of these heteropatriarchal systems, so we're going to go on holiday to Rwanda. Yeah, we're going to go on a backpacking tour of Yemen. Yeah, your granny would probably say, that's a shithole. That's a shithole. My granny would say, you dopey, chinless cunt, why would you go to that absolute fucking shithole, you clueless fuck knuckle? That's what my granny would say. But a lot of grannies would say shithole. Even the ones that aren't particularly foul-mouthed would use the term shithole. It's not that controversial. My grandmother would say, you fucking spunk trumpet, get up them stairs. Like, my granny was a proper foul-mouthed woman. But I don't understand the problem with swearing. Like, we all swear. You got the pub. Who doesn't say shit and fuck? Really weird how they've tried to make the 99% talk like we're in the Houses of Parliament. Like, I really hate it. I hate it. I hate Owen Jones. Let's have a debate, good sir. They go and they love talking about epistemology and teleology and, oh, let's talk about the ontological a bit. Shut the fuck up, Owen, you absolute hornblower. You leave a fucking trail of filth everywhere you walk because you are such a gopping creature. It just, filth comes off you like he's got his own personal cloud like Pigpen off Charlie Brown, because all he does is lie. Owen Jones is a walking toilet, and I hate the way that him and his chums, Ash Sarkar, I can't believe you said wank. Come on. Don't tell me I have to talk like I'm in Parliament. I'm not trying to be in Parliament. I never will attempt to go to Parliament. I don't like anyone in Parliament. Normal people swear occasionally. Get used to it. Stop trying to make me play by these shit rules. Not interested. Don't want to join the Oxford debating team. I just want to talk sense. And everyone knows when you're talking sense because the 90% agree with you. Like I keep saying, these fucking lunatics are in a tiny minority. They're convinced they're in the slim majority because they own the airwaves. But they're in a tiny minority. Most lefties aren't insufferable smug communists like Ash Sarkar. Most lefties are just a little bit misled and think if you're just nice to everyone, the world will be a better place. They don't realise that we conservatives, the whole reason we're conservative is because we think you have to be more pragmatic. If I could do it in those two words. Lefties are idealistic, conservatives are pragmatic. Most of them aren't bad people, most of them aren't fucking communists. But the ones that are running the debate, the BBC, Channel 4, they are fucking lunatics. Lunatics. And I'm not playing by their rules. So, fuck Owen Jones. That piece of... That story was absurd. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's not talk about it anymore. What else was I going to talk about? I'm just trying to riff now and do half an hour's shit talking most nights because, you know, I just sit here all night. Jake Paul swears a lot and is still monetized, so your argument is invalid. It's not, because if Jake Paul had political views like mine, they use the language as an excuse to throw you off. Quora collapse 50% of the things I write. Yeah, they go, oh, there's a few F words in there, delete it. It's like, it's ridiculous. So, not invalid. He doesn't talk like me. The Guardian, we'll do that story later. I want to talk about this National Law Review because that's from where I've just left and I think it's one of the maddest things I've ever read. And here's the main event from the thumbnail, right? Mad as a hatter, this bloke. Quite how he became a head teacher when his own head is wedged firmly up his shitbox is absolutely beyond me. How would you become a head teacher when your head is up your ass? How does that happen? Is that the same? Do you just have to have the right opinions and they let you rise through the ranks now? Have we just completely killed the meritocracy? Like, it doesn't matter if you're a good teacher. It doesn't matter if you're a sensible teacher. It doesn't matter if you're a rational, logical teacher. What matters is you have the right opinions and you agree with woke ideology. Then you can be the headmaster. There's probably some physics teacher there who's mega on the ball, fantastic teacher, everybody likes him, but he isn't woke, so he's not going to get the job. Yeah, this guy probably, shagging his students, right? That old chestnut, because, age of consent, that's a social construct. The cis-het patriarchy invented the age of consent, right? If you're a postmodernist, you just think, that's weird. They're not even guidelines, they're just crazy. What did Harriet Harman try and do? Harriet Harman famously was like, we could lower the age to 13, only if you're mental. Because those of us that aren't mental and inhabit the real world and are aware of things like biology and evolution know that there's a reason why men find young women sexually alluring. It's because youth and fecundity is demonstrated by fertility. So there's something in an older man that finds younger women quite attractive. But we draw a line in the sand and say, listen, technically, right, it's not the end of the world if a 20-year-old bloke goes out with a 14 or a 15-year-old girl, because they're roughly about the same maturity, right? Blokes are less mature than women. But it's immoral because you're still growing up, you look up to older men. There's a lot of things there where a young woman can be groomed by an older man because they look up to them for different reasons, status and the like. So we say, that's a bit dodgy. We have a draw line in the sand for an age of consent, and you don't go below it. And you don't go below it. They don't say it again, you have to draw a line in the sand with the law. They don't say, well, if he's quite an immature bloke and she's quite a mature girl, fuck it. 20-year-olds can shag 15-year-olds, just go and do it. We have to draw a line in the sand. They don't think that. So, fuck it. Do what you like. Everything's a guideline if you're a communist, right? Everything's bollocks. There's no such thing as a grand narrative. Age of consent, yeah, bollocks. Who comes up with that shit? Only those stupid biologists. What the fuck do they know? Yeah, and it's a number, and we all know maths is a social construct. Maths is fucking bullshit. 2 + 2 can equal 5. If you read Michel Foucault, so fuck it. Fuck it. Let's do all we want. Fuck it. Load of shit. A school has replaced its house names honouring national heroes with ultra-woke icons after a plea from an ex-pupil. So this is what I'm talking about how we've now got minority rule, right? Once again, proving what I'm saying, we've now got minority rule. If you were to ask the first 500 people you bumped into when you walk the dog around that school, how many of them would fully agree with getting rid of Admiral Nelson, Sir Francis Drake and Sir Walter Raleigh, throwing them all out the window and renaming them after random foreign birds from across the fucking ocean who nobody even knows the name of? How many? How many? Even Guardian readers, I think even Guardian readers, yeah, I'm purposely picking the lowest rung, right? You've got, the rungs in my eyes have got like, physicists, and then below them the social sciences, and then below them is like, A-levels, and then GCSEs, and then like dogs, horses, slugs, and then Guardian readers. And even Guardian readers, most of them wouldn't agree with getting rid of Admiral Nelson. Most of them go, you know what, Admiral Nelson did an important job. Admiral Nelson's a British hero. And even though I'm against colonialism and all of that thing, it's fine, Admiral Nelson, leave him where he is. Most of them would. Here he is, woke headmaster Leal changed his school's house names after a former pupil complained. One former pupil. One former pupil. So fuck knows, doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. One former pupil and Mr. Woke there, because he's an ideologue, thinks that's enough to change. Fuck what the parents think. Fuck what the kids think. Fuck what common sense says, which is if you want your kids to feel pride in the house, you should name them after things that mean something to the children. I mean, my God, the whole reason they do that in the military, they name things after, they name bases after great heroes. They name events, trophies after great military heroes. It's because it instills a sense of pride in you and it makes you go, yeah, like I belong to something. That is why your houses should be named after. In my school, they were named after places in Yorkshire, counties. We had Eskdale, Westdale, Farmdale. That's why you do it. That's why Admiral Nelson, Sir Francis Drake, Sir Walter Raleigh, that's why you have houses named after these people. So the kids feel a sense of pride and achievement in what they are. And they'll try harder. You have the house championships and you compete. So you try. You really try and win and it's good for you because you're putting some effort in to do something useful. Right? Who have we got him replaced by? Admiral Nelson? Fuck him. Francis Drake? Fuck him. Who's the new one? Oh, look. Greta Thunberg. Random foreign kid. Mentally ill. IQ of a pork pie. Perpetually misled by her ultra ideologically indoctrinated parents. Fucking lunatics. So, yeah, Greta's one of them. Human rights activist Malala Yousafzai. Malala's not terrible, to be honest. She got shot in the head by the Taliban. If I had to pick one of the four, I'd let her stay. If one of the old heroes was someone who was proper controversial, like, I don't know, Peter Sutcliffe, yeah? If you had House Sutcliffe, yeah, get rid of him, put Malala on it. But none of those people are scumbags. Some of them are some of the most important people in the whole of the fucking British history. Like Trafalgar. If we'd have lost the Battle of Trafalgar, Britain wouldn't exist as a country as we know it. We would be speaking fucking French. So don't tell me those people aren't important. Replaced, like I said, it's staggering. Staggering. Replaced real British heroes like Admiral Nelson and Francis Drake with fucking Greta Thunberg, Malala Yousafzai, Marcus fucking Rashford, who has done nothing. He's a child. He's done nothing. And then, best one of all, Joe Biden's poet, Amanda Gorman. If you showed that picture to 10,000 British teenagers, I reckon you'd be lucky if 50 of them knew who she was. It is a random foreign bird, yeah, to be as blunt as I can. He's got rid of Francis Drake and replaced him with a random foreign bird who's never done anything to benefit Britain, the British people, or British culture. She is a nothing burger, to use the Americanism. A nothing burger. At least you could even argue Greta, detestable as Greta's parents are. I won't say Greta because it's not her fault she got skull fucked by her parents. But as detestable as her parents are and her destructive ideology is, she's done something. Marcus Rashford, all right, he's fed a few kids. He might have forced a few bus drivers and taxi drivers to feed kids, right? While he was buying houses. But at least they did something. Amanda Gorman is a random foreign bird who has nothing to do with Britain. She has nothing but contempt for Britain, and nobody knows who she is. So to fucking switch out someone like Admiral Nelson for this dopey twat is beyond parody. It is ridiculous. Because one child sent an email to a headmaster with a head full of cow shit. Yeah. The headmaster, with a head up his arse, did that of his own accord, and we know for a fact that it is directly against the interests of all of the parents, all of the taxpayers that keep his school open, most of the pupils, anyone who lives in the vicinity of that school. This fucking jumped up little Ike, covered in shit tats like they all are as well, with his fucking council haircut like his mum cut his hair with a knife and fork during fucking lockdown. Jumped up little fucking Ike. If I was one of the parents, I swear down I would be up the school. And I'd say, I'm going to do you a favour and fucking kick the hair out of your head, because I'll at least make that look something like a barber's had a go at it. I'm kidding. You're not allowed to advocate assaulting people. But the bloke needs to take his head for a shit. The necky bastard. If you're one of these parents who lives anywhere near that school, you need to go in and have a word with him. Howden Junior School in East Yorkshire. Because what an arsehole. What an arsehole. Courage. And yeah, can I just finish that? He says these individuals, the four aforementioned communists, represent our four values of courage, curiosity, care, community. Community. Random foreign bird. Got nothing to do with Britain. Curiosity just practices one ideology. Doesn't care about. Does not curious at all. Care, all right, in their misguided minds they care. I'll give you that one. Courage. Courage. What courage does she need? What courage does she need when everyone agrees with you and praises every single word you say? What courage do you need? I've got more courage than her, because people criticise me. Who the fuck criticises Amanda Gorman? She's sitting on the president's knee, for fuck's sake, the president of the free world. What do you mean, courage? I'll tell you what takes courage. Going up to Joe Biden in public and saying, you dopey, bog-brained fucking geriatric, I wouldn't let you run a bath. That takes courage. These people don't know the meaning of the word courage. I'll tell you what takes courage. Sailing the ship of the line at a combined fleet of French and Spanish ships, resoundingly twatting them and then bleeding to death on the planks, at least in the knowledge that you've done your duty. That takes courage. Sacrificing your life for your country takes courage. Being a random foreign bird and writing a fucking poem doesn't take courage. A poem that you know will have everyone in the world frigging you off in the media all day doesn't take courage. None. Right? None. Courage is steeling yourself, sucking it up, doing something that you're scared of. What's fucking scary about writing a poem that the mainstream media and everyone on TV and radio will fucking chew you off all day for writing? What courage? So there's that story. What a pile of shit. If you live anywhere near that, East Yorkshireman, I know Ice Pick Mick, he's a Yorkshireman, you should be embarrassed. If you live anywhere near Howden Junior School in East Yorkshire, go knock on his door and say, "Here mate, you are a cheeky twat. You are a cheeky twat. I pay your wages." So there's that. Bollocks. So-called poet. Unbelievable. What else shall we do? My vocal cords haven't give out quite yet. I'll have a quick drink, hang on. This one I wanted to cover just because we know for a fact that we don't have gender parity in giant, fat, jizz, blood and jamrag iceberg chiseling. Is that a job? What do you do for a living? I'm a jamrag, spunk, fat chiseler. That's a shit job, being a jamrag, spunk and fat chiseler. We know for a fact that there is no gender parity there. Whenever I've seen any footage of a bloke, always a bloke, crawling out of a manhole, covered in used johnnies, jam rags, fucking, tissue papers and picnic wrappers. It's a bloke in a big yellow suit. Every time. So I want to say, why isn't the Guardian flagging this up? Why isn't the Guardian pointing out there's no gender parity? Ladies, I'm talking to you. Why aren't you out there saying, listen, it's all well and good saying you want gender parity if it's, the high status jobs. Like, all the girls want to be firefighters. Yeah. All the girls want to be nurses, and all the girls want to be teachers and CEOs. They all want to work for Facebook. Why don't we see any women chiseling giant crusty spunk balls to bits in the sewers? Why? It's not fair. I demand that women get the chance to peel crusty jam rags off a giant globule of fat wedged between fucking two brick walls in a hole underground with a hazmat costume on. Right? So girls, write to your MPs, write to the Guardian, and demand representation. Never see a woman doing that. There's a bloke chiseling away at the Fatberg. Fatberg. That's probably what comes out when Diane Abbott burps. A Fatberg. Oil, grease, fat. Yeah. Sorry. That was just the 6,000 mini eggs I ate before getting a taxi to Parliament. It says the head of waste networks at Thames Water, Matt Rimmer, said the Fatberg was huge and disgusting and that it had taken a great deal of brute force to clear the blockage. Oh, really? A great deal of brute force, eh? Well, I think Greta Thunberg should have been down there. Why wasn't she helping out? That sounds like an ecological emergency, that. Giant Fatberg of wet wipes, nappies and jam rags. Why wasn't she helping out? Oh, she just wants to do the speaking tours, does she? On the private jets. Who's got the biggest climate footprint going to work? Greta Thunberg or the bloke who chisels the Fatberg? He probably gets there on a bike, doesn't he? Weird. It's almost like the women are just only interested in parity in the cushy jobs, isn't it? A cynical man, a lesser man, might think something like that. Good job I'm not cynical. Joking aside, do your bit if you live in London. Only flush the 3 Ps. What's that? Plant pots, poppadoms, and picnics. Yeah. You can flush them. Flush them all day long. Piranhas. I'm running out of peas. Piranhas, plungers, pot puree, pigs, pets, and people. Yeah, you can flush all of them. Flush all of them. The 7 Ps. Pigs, pets, people, piranhas, plant pots. Flush all them. Do your bit. Do your bit for London. There you go. So that was another good story. I'll do one more. The thing is, right, the reason I'm cognizant of not doing this for too long, because when I see stuff like this from the BBC, I bookmark it and I have to save that for when I'm doing BBC Spews on a weekend. Pythons, yeah, you get some pythons down the toilet, don't you? In America, you always get shit like that. If I do this type of stuff too often and too long, I'll run out of material for the BBC Spews. So that's why I just pick random shit off the internet for a random chinwag on a Tuesday night. All right, we've got enough peas. Thank you for all of the suggestions. Pterodactyls. They have gone extinct. I'm sure you knew that, didn't you? Yorkshire Red has his own in the sand. I forgot. It does it automatically, that, apparently, Streamlabs, when you link it. This one made me laugh. I just felt like I should bring that one up, because doesn't it annoy you when blokes were in the military for like the bare minimum of time and they always wear that sort of, what is it, grunt style merchandise. You always see them, especially in the States. Everyone is always wearing one of those fucking t-shirts with a flag on one arm and that sort of cross thing on the front and the rifles. It's like, I just think these people are beyond parody. And I'm a veteran, but at least I didn't do the bare minimum and actually deployed 4 or 5 times. And yeah, you could tell I was a Marine by looking at my truck. It's weird how over in the States they all put their entire political belief system on the back of the truck. It's a bit ridiculous. So if you're one of my followers, because I have got quite a lot of veterans watch my stuff, don't be a cliche and do any of that. Don't tell me that fireworks freak you out when you were so far in the rear you had to send your laundry forwards. Don't do that. Don't cover your truck in fucking once a Marine, always a Marine stickers. You just look like a knobhead. And don't say as a veteran, because there's plenty of veterans who are thick as fuck, right? Don't say that. I don't think it's a good look. As I said in the comments here, it's like the MMA gear. Every bloke I see in a tap-out t-shirt is a fat, chinless midget that my granddad would knock out if he flicked his cock across his chops. That's true. Every time I see a bloke wearing a tap-out t-shirt, you know, tap-out, MMA, he looks like shit. He looks like 300 pounds of chewed bubble gum, to use the Americanism. So don't do that. Don't only wear military gear all the time if you are a veteran. It's not a cool look. Right, what's the last thing I'll talk about? Done him. Done that. Done the Fatberg. Oh yeah, this one. This is unbelievable, this. It's actually quite an old story when the law originally came out. October last year. But I just read a piece today about it saying, pointing out exactly what the requirement was, and it has to be this way before the end of 2021. Right, so this is the crack. It says, although the requirement is to have at least one such director during 2021, 2022, and this is the actual, again, how is this liberal? How is this acceptable to anyone who's not mental? Like, it's like Gestapo style shit. But it's lol, fireworks, yeah. It says, directors from underrepresented communities are individuals who identify as Black, African American, Hispanic, Latino, Asian, Pacific Islander, Native American, Native Hawaiian, Alaskan Native, gay, lesbian, bisexual or transgender. So they've literally legally mandated that you have to have, if you've got 9 or more directors, at least 3 of them have to be from that list, right? If you've got more than 4 but fewer than 9, you must have at least 2. And if you've got 4 or less, you must have at least 1. 4 or less. So if you've only got 2 boards, 2 or 3 people on your board, at least one of them has to be some fucking group. Like, how bad's that? What's liberal about it? What's liberal about that? The fact that they even have to write everybody down on a little list is Gestapo shit, isn't it? It's Gestapo shit. It's like, show me your papers. Tell me what you are. Are you a raving homosexual? What's it got to do with you? What's it got to do with you? I've got nothing against anybody, anyone on that list, but I resent being asked to tick these boxes. Do you know what I mean? And then it must be insulting. If I was a gay black man, what's it got to do with you? What's it got to do with you? And I like the way it says self-identify. So surely then, you can just get one of your normal employees who's one of your directors and just get him, if anyone asks, when he's filling out his papers, to put down bisexual. Yeah? Bisexual. How are they going to prove it? If I'm on the board and I'm married, right? And they're like, oh shit, it's nearly the end of the year. and we haven't got enough people who on the magic list. You know, the Gestapo give us that list. The woke Gestapo give us a list, and we have to follow the list, or else we get like punished by the law, just like in Nazi Germany. Oh yeah, I know what you're on about. What do we do? What's to stop me from self-identifying as bisexual? How are they going to prove it? Are the lefty Gestapo going to turn up at your fucking office, pull out a Luger, and be like in the boardroom, so where is the bisexual man? That's me, Governor. It's me. Mr. Taylor, you say you are bisexual, yes? I am Mr. Woke Gestapo. Suck Herr Schmidt off there. What? Put his testicles in your mouth. You don't have to go to fruition, yeah? You don't have to proper go banging like a barn door in a hurricane. You don't have to hum the national anthem with his balls in your mouth to fruition and then jizz all over your face and like love it and rub it in like Elton John. You just have to do it for like 5 seconds just so we know you really are as a bisexual, yes? Okay. Like, is that was a bit of a riff, but is that how it's going to go? How are they going to prove it? How are they going to prove it? If you were allowed to self-identify, you just get half your board to go. I mean, again, it's Gestapo shit, right? Like, because you're going to have to fill in paperwork, or else how are they going to know? So just think about what they're asking people to do here. It's full-on Gestapo shit. That is fascist behaviour. It's ticking boxes, writing lists, and making people submit paperwork to tell you private things about their lives. It's really fucked up. And I like to make a joke about these things, but it's not funny, is it? That's what I'd do. Just get everyone on the board. In fact, I'd kick the ass out because, like, I seriously want to see this go to its logical conclusion. Please, if you are the CEO of a big American company, or you know the CEO, maybe a friend or a relative, or who's on the board, send them this video and tell them what I want them to do. This is Bootneck's plea to them, right? Get every single person on your board to tick bisexual. Send the paperwork off and let's see them prove you wrong. Call the bluff. I wish I was still working in Alabama because I was like mega good pals with the CEO and the chief operations officer. I would say to them all, this is what we need to do. We need to call this Gestapo fascist, intolerant, paperwork, list writing, communist shit out for what it is. It's despicable, it's immoral, it's intolerant, it's bigoted. We need to make a stand. And you make a stand by making a point. And I'd get every single person on the board to identify as bisexual, send off the paperwork and say, come at me, bro. Prove me wrong. I want to know. I would love to know anyone in America who knows where this is going to go. I want to know what's going to happen. I want to know how they will check. Is it going to be the FBI, the CIA, the local police, the sheriffs, the fucking local gay bar is going to send a representative round to get you to dance for him, yeah? And you've got to do it convincingly with a feather boa, yeah? And then he's going to bring out a sizable vase and say, sit on that, and if you can't take it all the way up to the hilt, you're not a real gay man, yeah? You're not bisexual. You couldn't take a fucking 15-inch pile driver straight up your shitbox without even fucking blinking. You're not a real bisexual. You've definitely never had a cock in your mouth. I can see the way you're playing with it, yeah? He's going to walk in, get his cock out, look at the local sheriff and go, smoke this bad boy, prove you're a bi. Bring your boyfriend in. What are they going to do? You're bisexual, bring your boyfriend in, bugger him over the fucking boardroom bench. There's a lot of bees. There's a lot of bees, yeah? Bring in your boyfriend, bugger him over the boardroom bench. And we'll settle this. We'll settle this like men. How? How? I do not get it. I'd love to be informed as to how this is going to go down. Please, somebody enlighten me. But it's staggering that these people think they're the liberal ones. Unbelievable. Yes, two-tone smashes back doors open all day long. Yeah. Bisexual, yeah, he's got his clipboard. Oh, you don't appear to be black, Hispanic, or Latino. Oh, no, I'm white, but I'm bisexual. Ah, bring in and bugger your boyfriend. Yeah, do it. Do it. Whilst Mr. Biden watches. So there you go. Crazy. That was the news from today that made me laugh. I really do not understand what fucking planet we're living on. I don't get it. I don't get how people watch my good-humoured gallivant through the day's events. Not really meaning anything by any of it. Certainly not prejudiced against anybody. I think every free-born man and woman should be allowed to live their life however they see fit with other consenting adults, free from molestation. But I don't understand how they can see me and listen to me and say I'm intolerant, and the people writing these lists with the little buzzwords and the quotas and the paperwork, they're the liberal ones. I'm liberal. I am a liberal. They are fucking lunatics. I'm liberal. They are illiberal. I don't like lists. I don't like quotas. I don't like rules. They fucking do. And they will, with a straight face, will tell the 99%, you're all evil people. You're all intolerant. You're all prejudiced. It's absolutely upside down. But this is where we're at. And the only thing you can do is laugh, isn't it? So laugh. Laugh when they ask you to prove your bisexualness or transgenderness. If you're gender fluid in this day and age and they've made it meaningless and you can just do whatever you want, why can't you just identify for one for that day? You can watch to stop the board members all identifying as transgender, and when they get audited by the woke Gestapo, say, oh yeah, I'm transgender, but only like 1 or 2 days a year. Yeah, and today's one of them. Yeah, I feel dead feminine today. Yeah. Scratch your balls. Yeah, I fucking feel feminine as fuck today, mate. Yeah. You know, reading the daily, be as stereotypically masculine as you possibly can be. Look at the tits on that in the Daily Sport. Whoa, oh yeah, I'm a woman today, mate. I'm a woman today, mate. Yeah, I got it. Anyway, so, mental. The world's gone fucking mad. Thanks for watching, everybody. My mouth needs a rest. I can only come up with so much shit in one day. If you haven't already, check out my fucking subscribe star and my tip jar and all that shit. And as always, thanks for spreading the word. I might do one tomorrow if I can be asked. I might not. We'll see. If enough things make me laugh throughout the day when I'm perusing the news, I'll do a live stream. If not, I'll see you guys very soon. Thanks for watching. As always, it's been a pleasure, guys.